96.3 FM, The Source.
Thank you for tuning in. Have you ever heard the story about the acorn that fell into the rose garden?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Well, the daddy rose and the mommy rose, they were very happy with all the little baby roses that were growing. And when the acorn started to grow, they said, "You look a little different." You look a little different, but we love you anyway, and we're looking forward to you becoming a rose. And as the little acorn grew, it said, I just don't feel like I should be a rose. I feel like I should be an oak tree. And they said, "Oh, come on, an oak tree. You know how big you have to grow to become an oak tree?" Well, I guess the purpose of the story is to tell us, as I guess it's some kind of a parable that says, hey, we all have a purpose, and maybe we know it instinctively. Maybe there's an intuition within us that tells us what we should be doing with our lives, and yet the world around us often, seduces us into thinking we should be rock stars or football heroes or celebrities of some sort, and for some people, I guess that's true. But for the most of us, we need to be moms. We need to be dads. We need to be railroad workers and things like that. Nadene Joy has figured this out. She's an accomplished life coach. She's a parenting coach, a jewelry designer. Well, there's a life calling right there.
Favorite.
It's your favorite part. And her book really does say this in a very succinct and profound way. It's called Uncover Your Purpose. If you're looking at the podcast, I put the cover of the book on the podcast. I got that off of Amazon. Heal and share your gifts with the world. I love that, Nadene. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Regina, Saskatchewan, up here in Canada.
Oh, nice.
Beauty.
How's the weather there today? How's the weather there?
You know what? It's actually really beautiful. I don't know if you guys have hoarfrost, but we have this frost on the trees that's beautiful. I woke up this morning and it was actually a very nice day. So there's lots of snow here, but it's a beautiful day. So it's great.
I was trying to figure if I can make you feel jealous or if we feel jealous. I mean, the grass is always green on the other side, right? I love the fact that the cover of your book, you have a tree, because it's exactly kind of that same story, isn't it, that I told at the opening?
Exactly, yes, I love that. It's exactly what it is, like the oak tree growing and evolve slowly over time, really just uncovering your purpose one step at a time, bringing you closer to really your truth and who you really are.
Do you know, I've actually thought about this subject a lot, and I've often wondered if it's ever too late. Like a lot of people you'll see, I've heard this, we live in a retirement area, okay? Mm-hmm. We have a mixed bag here. We got college kids at the university, and we have older folks because it's a retirement area, and then,
young families.
Somewhat in between too. But I've often thought, if the kids in the college could right now identify what their passion is and their purpose is, then by the time they reach the age of those folks who are retired, maybe they wouldn't be making an end-of-life decision. They could do whatever it is that was their passion all of their lives.
Exactly.
So did this happen for you?
Powerful.
Did this happen for you?
It did not happen. Unfortunately, it did not happen for me.
What do you mean?
That's why I wrote my book, to help people. Yes, it did happen. I started out, I worked as a geologist, which I thought was what I was supposed to be doing, and found out, through my journey, through my life, I started getting sick. I didn't listen to myself, and eventually realized that I wasn't living my purpose. I was doing what everybody else, society, parents, friends, whatever whatever you're expected to be doing versus what really in your heart is meant to be for you. And I learned that, and it's interesting that you asked that question, because it's been a journey for me to get to where I am today. I know I'm now living my purpose, but it's gone from really just from being a geologist to being a mom. I had my first child. I have 4 kids. To being a parenting coach, to being a feng shui consultant, to being a life coach, and then now to what I do today, helping people discover their purpose all over the world. So yeah, I love that.
I think we'd all be so much happier if we weren't seduced by the media. And I'm not saying the media is bad. I think we make a mistake. We watch TV and we see fame and we think that could be me, and there's an ego thing that really kind of sabotages who we really should be.
Yeah, the ego is a huge barrier in so many people's lives, and it's really becoming aware that the ego is actually even present there, because it's so sneaky sometimes how it sneaks in and maybe creates fear, creates other things in your life that really just block you from being yourself and really just living your life true to your heart and true to really what you're meant to be doing. So it's something that people need to definitely become more aware of, that it's there, it's present, and just really honoring yourself at all times, every day, and moving forward with who you really are as a person and your mission here in life.
And you do talk about healing, and that's really the hardest thing for a person to admit, that they do need this change and they do have to heal. Yeah, that's really, in my opinion and from my experience, my many years as a coach, as a mentor for people, is the first step to really, to getting to that next level, and that awareness is healing and being aware of, that there was maybe, everybody has things from their past, from their childhood, from any point in their life that has happened to them that they need to be aware of, that needs to be healed, that needs to be, acknowledged, that it's there, that it's created pain in their life, it's created, if you can imagine, so I just want to do a quick visualization. If you imagine a string in front of you, and imagine taking a lighter, match, something like that, and lighting that string on fire. So that flame that's burning on that one end of the string represents who you really are, your true authentic self, and you allow that to burn down the string until it gets to a point in your life, whether it's in childhood, whether it's later on in life, whatever it is, there's a gap in the string, literally like a hole. So this is part of your life that has, something's happened that's really blocking you from really knowing who you really are and really allowing you to access that gift. So until you heal that or close that gap, if you want to imagine it like that, or heal these things from your past, you really can't allow that light to shine through to yourself and really out into the world, and to be able to help others in the world and make a positive difference in their life. So when that part of your past, or these events or things that have happened haven't been healed, that gap remains there. But as soon as it's healed, it closes back up, allowing that light to shine through, allowing your gifts to shine through, who you were as a child, who you were born to be. And then not only that, it allows it to shine out onto the other end of the string and out into the world, where you can help others do the same.
Oh, wow, I love that that metaphor. What were the clues in your life that made you look to see if there was a gap? What I don't even know how to ask this question. Did you have a parent or a friend who said, what you really should be doing? Did you have that a lot in your life?
I always had, so it's very interesting. I always had people who would come to me for advice from the time I remember, even being 15, 16 years old. I was always that person that people could come to and talk to. They felt like they could just trust right from the start to tell me. They would just tell me everything, and I always didn't, when I was younger, I didn't understand, why are people coming to me and telling me all these things? But then realizing that, hey, this is really one of my gifts, and really something that I've been given to me to help other people and to really be able to understand them and know where they're coming from. And I've been through many things in my life too, and my experiences, and based on that, really being able to understand where people are coming from and being able to give them. So that's what makes me different from other people out there, is being able to have the experience of being gone through many, trials and tribulations, if you want to call that, in my life to get to where I am today.
It must be easier to help people when you're a professional and they come to you, but as a parent, I have children aged 38 and 40, and they're on their own, and sometimes I see things that maybe shouldn't be happening. How does a parent help others without making the other person feel inadequate?
Yeah, and that's a big thing too, especially once, children get to be teenage. I have many clients all over the world that have, children of all ages, from babies, infants, all the way up to, children that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. So it's really something that you need to just really be able to be gentle and to be, just to know and to let, so if you have a friend that has a child or something that's going through a rough time, just really to be there for them and let them know that you're there for them, I think is the biggest thing, because so many people feel alone and they feel like they have nobody to turn to that really understands what they're going through. Really just being able to be there for them, telling them, and my advice would be the first thing to make sure that they're having that connection with their children, really telling them they love them, that spending the quality time that they need to do with them, really, and parents need to work on their own stuff they have there and heal from their past. So that's the first step to really helping their children, so this multi-generational patterning doesn't get passed down from one generation to the next. It's absolutely huge and imperative that parents become aware of their own stuff that they have, that they're carrying, that their children might be unconsciously taking on as well.
It is an interesting thing, creation, and if you don't mind me bringing up a religious belief, I believe that God made us. Just that's all. As far as I'll tell you. But I think that God did something different with humans than he did with all of the rest of creation. It seems like every bird has the same job. It seems like every beaver knows how to build a dam, and every squirrel knows how to find acorn. You know what I mean? Every animal seems to have the same gift, but human beings are all different. Yours is different from mine. Mine is different from Robin's, and we're all different from everybody out there. Some are the same or some are similar, but it's an interesting thing that we've been giving what we call gifts that are not the same as each other, and that is one of the things that makes us different.
Yeah, it really is. It's something that everybody is unique. Everybody has their own gifts. I think that's what makes humans so incredible, is because everybody's different. And being able to really not compare yourself to other people is my advice, I guess, to everybody, right? Is because it doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. You can try and copy what they're doing and become not successful whatsoever, because those people have different gifts and are using their gifts that God gave them, versus you have your own, and you need to be on your own journey and not compare yourself to everybody else. It's really, and as humans, it's human nature to want to compare to everybody else. So the less you can compare, I think the greater you have it, really being able to know yourself and who you really are and what your unique gifts are that God has given you.
I think so. The book is called Uncover Your Purpose, Heal and Share Your Gifts with the World. I love the metaphor of the string with the flame. Nadene Joy is the author and our guest. I wanted to ask you about your purpose and I guess the need to make money. Sometimes the two don't meet. We are doing the things that fulfills our purpose, but it doesn't make us money. And we end up doing something else to make money. What is your thought on that? Do you think that we're not really being fair to our purpose if we're doing something else to make money other than the purpose?
So I think when you're doing your purpose, when you're doing something you love, you truly love, when it's truly aligned with your gifts, I believe that it's easy for you. I believe it's something that you're passionate about. I believe it's something that you spark in yourself, and not only yourself, but in others and the people that you're supposed to help. And I believe the people that you're supposed to help just come to you because they can see your sincerity. They can see you're passionate about it. And when it's your purpose, when it's completely aligned with you, I really, truly believe that it's something that will be easy for you, and it will just happen. Whether you're working in a job, like many people work in a job that they don't enjoy every day. They go to work, get up, the mundane task of getting up, going to work every day, doing something they don't enjoy. But it's really, even if you are in a job that you don't enjoy, it's not saying that you still can't take 5 or 10 minutes or half an hour at the beginning of your day to do something that you love. And the more you focus on what you love and what your gifts are, the greater that's going to become. And then opportunities are just going to arise and open up. The doors are just going to open in ways that you least expect. And things are just going to happen in alignment with your truth and what you're supposed to be doing. I really believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, Tony Robbins said one time, I'm trying to remember if he was a guest. Was he a guest on our show, Tony Robbins?
Yes.
He had said one time that when you focus on something, it becomes bigger, it becomes greater, and I think that's true. I mean, we see that all the time. I mean, even, I'm not a mechanic, but in the days when I couldn't afford a mechanic, if something was wrong with my car, I took my butter knife and my screwdriver, and I would open up that hood, and somehow when I focused on, and this was before the internet. You focus on it, you ask questions, you go get a book, and next thing you know, you're putting in your own starter.
Gosh.
So I think we do focus on things, and I think you're right. Yeah, if the passion you have is not what you're making money at, I think I hear what you're saying. That if you just keep focusing, eventually you'll figure out a way to ask people to compensate you for using your talent with them or for them.
Yeah, exactly. And like the thing I tell most of my clients, like, so it starts with your beliefs. It starts in your mind. So your thoughts become your words. So what you think becomes what you speak. Your words become your actions, and your actions create your reality. So it all starts in the thoughts that you're thinking and the things that you're doing that create joy in your life, and that really, things that you love to do that you just maybe have forgot about it. Things you used to do as a child that you maybe are too busy. There's too many distractions. There's too many other things in life going on that you just don't take the time to focus on it anymore as an adult.
And this focusing helps open the door for communication between different people, because some people think they have nothing to offer, and it takes somebody else to try to convince them that they do.
Exactly. And really, one thing too I wanted to mention is really being able to trust, having faith, being able to trust and really surrender in the process, and just really let go of all control of how you think things should be. So I want to if it's okay, give a quick example of my book and how it just came about, how it just happened, how, I wasn't even expecting to write a book, and it just happened. I woke up one morning and all I heard about 30 times was, you need to write a book, you need to write a book, you need to write a book.
Where'd
I knew
you
in
hear
my
it?
heart, I always wanted.
You mean you heard it internally?
Where did I hear it? I heard it internally. Yeah,
Okay.
I heard an internal voice telling me that I needed to write a book. And I thought maybe, before I heard this, I thought, yeah, maybe 5 years down the road I'll write a book. But I woke up one morning, it was so strong. It was so strong in my heart, in my mind, internally, that it was something that I just couldn't even ignore. So I went on Facebook, and the first thing I saw on Facebook was a publisher looking to publish. I think they had 2 spots left to publish their book with them. So I thought, oh, this is really interesting. Okay, well, I'll email them and, just kind of say what happened. I emailed them. They got back to me. At this point, I had no clue what my book was even supposed to be about, that I was going to be writing a book.
Wow.
And I told them that. I said, I don't even know what it is, but there's something about, I literally just, woke up, heard this message, went on. This is the first thing I saw. I know I have a book I'm supposed to help people with. And they got back to me saying, you know what, whatever your book is, I truly believe it's going to help a lot of people, and I'd love to have you write a book. So, and then over the next 2 weeks, every client I had was asking me, how do you find your purpose? I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling lost. How do I find my purpose? So from that, I heard that's what your book needs to be about, because there's a need in the world for people to discover and to know what their purpose is and how to get it. You need to create a book that's going to help them get there. So yeah, it's a really powerful story, but that's just one example of when you trust and are open to hearing and taking action on what you're meant to be, that it just happened.
So I have a thought based on what you just said. Okay. Your book will sit in a bookstore somewhere, or be available online somewhere, which I'm sure it is. I've already found it online, in fact.
Yes.
And somebody looking for this is going to be open to the message. So it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make him drink. So, but somebody who is a horse, in the metaphor, wanting to drink, will find this book and actually fortify. That's a good word. Fortify their chances of really embracing their own gift, their own talent. The people who won't find it are those people who would never drink the water. You could lead them to water, but they're never going to drink it anyway. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be some people who won't even pick the book up. They'll pass it over. They'll see the title, Uncover Your Purpose, and they'll think, my purpose is to go get a hamburger. They won't even think.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
I think,
that's exactly it.
So
yeah.
you've created a little oasis for people by writing a book. It's a kind of another metaphor. We're filled with metaphors with this interview.
How do you keep separate your client guidance from your guidance for your personal family? the objectivity might not be as much there for the family as it is for the client, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? I get, so every client I deal with, every person I deal with, again, it's going back to that uniqueness, right? Everybody is different. Everybody has a unique gift. Everybody has their own unique energy, and the guidance that I have for each person is different. So I don't really find it difficult to keep, the guidance from my family and the clients all separate, because each individual, including my 4 children, are completely different people, have completely different needs, completely different everything. So for me, like as a coach, as a mentor for people, every session that I have with people is completely different based on, whatever comes up, the guidance that I'm giving, based on what they need, what they're going through in their life. It's all a step-by-step process, and it's never the same. I've done hundreds of calls and mentors with people, and there hasn't been one session that has been the same out of all of them. So that's what makes it very unique.
I want to ask you if you could put on your coach's hat just for a second and talk to the horse that doesn't want to drink the water. And in human words, that would mean the people who always say, yeah, but. So you will say, here's what I think maybe would help you. And then they say, yeah, but I've got a family to raise. Yeah, but I live in, Utah. Yeah. No offense, Utah. Yeah, but, I'm not handsome enough. Yeah, but, what do you say to those people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that out there. And those are the people that, might, want help. They deep down they want help, but they're scared, and there's a lot of fear that's there in them, that they, it's the unknown. So from my experience, it's really about the fear of unknown and really not knowing, what can come of doing something different, because they've done the same things for, lots of times their entire life, and doing something different or healing from that part of them that belongs to them is kind of a scary thing. So my thing is, just to know that, to tell these people that, to know that it's okay to, start taking, and take it slowly, and know that you don't have to do everything at once. It doesn't have to be, wake up and, in 3 days you have all the answers. They're not going to be there that quickly. That it's a journey, it's a process, and taking one step at a time every day, that's progress. And to be, have self-love and know that, as long as you're doing one little thing, even if it's, like I said, 5 minutes a day, like to be proud of yourself and to know that that's okay, and that's really what it takes. Those small steps forward that get to, compounded over time is, huge steps. And one day you wake up and your life is completely different because of all these small steps you've taken along the way.
And you talk about color psychology in your book.
Yes. Yeah, colors. I love colors. Colors are very powerful, and I believe that, that it really makes a difference to surround yourself with, the colors, especially the colors in nature, that God intended, that, that are around us. You're in your nature, you feel peaceful. It's all the, the greens, the blues, the sound of like the water, the elements that are in nature as well. Like it's very powerful to be surrounded by those, peaceful, supportive colors that are out there. So yeah, including, I really like myself. I really enjoy the colors of blue and the colors of green, just because they're so pure. They're so they represent growth. They represent tranquility. They represent. There's just so much peace and growth that involves in both of those colors. So yeah, I love that.
Thank you for being on the air with us. I can tell that you are somebody who is helping people realize who they need to be. I wonder if we had more time, we would maybe get deeper into this thought, but I wonder if our purposes change in the course of a lifetime. I'm guessing they do. I know mine did. I was a dad to a little child. Now I'm a dad to an adult man. So, two different roles.
Yeah.
Nadene Joy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nadene Joy, thank you for being on the air. The book is Uncover Your Purpose. I have a copy of it. If you'd like the one that was sent to me, call me and I'll leave it here for you. I found it on Amazon. Do you have a website you want to recommend?
Yeah, I also have a Facebook page that I have. That's a really good resource for people to come on, just to kind of a support for the community, people who are looking to find their purpose. Is just Uncover Your Purpose, and then a semicolon, heal and share your gifts with the world. And yeah, I also have a website, NadineJoy.com.
All right, thank you. I see calls coming in for the book. I'll take the call when we go to the break. Nadene, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. We're still waiting to hear officially who wins a special House election in Western Pennsylvania. The Democrat Connor Lamb declared victory. He has the edge with absentee ballots still being counted.
I'll work on the problems our people face, secure their jobs and pensions, protect their family, and I will work with anyone to do that.
The Republican Rick Saccone, though, says it's not over yet. President Trump